Peggy Brown and I together make up Anatomy in Motion. So you see on one side we have the skeleton, and as this goes by you will see the bones. On the other side we have the muscles. So what we have are the major muscle groups used in movement and in balance. The skeleton is the framework for the body. Horses, like humans, have approximately 206 bones. They have a human go down on their fingers and their knees. They have about the same skeleton system as the horse. Sometimes when people ride horses, they say, keep your head in this position, do not move your head. And that takes away from the horse some of his natural ability to balance himself. So that is a good reason not to bring your horse's head behind vertical, because it removes some of his correct flexion. And we would like most flexion to take place up here, not back here. Anatomical reason for good classic horsemanship and training. So can you see how that muscle would help the back move and attaches to the back of the front leg? Our knee rests right on top of that muscle. And that, by the way, is the acupressure point for stop. So what happens when a rider pinches his knees too tight? Stop. It's like riding with the brakes on. So it's important for us as riders and trainers to know about the two muscle chains and to do what we can to make it easy for the horse to use his whole circle of muscles well. And that means that we look carefully that we don't force a horse. Hold your head like this. Okay, now move your hocks like that. Okay, now let's get some spurs and make you move your ribs like this. That's not how you make a good athlete. We have to have a good athlete who uses his whole body well, and like any good athlete, we have to train gradually, we have to train with a system, and we have to train with effort and rest and good food and sensible training methods. Does that make sense?
So I want to keep a safe, quiet connection with Grandma. I don't want to drag her. I don't want to let her go. I want to be there for her. You are a good grandma. Thank you. The first thing that I do is I make sure that I'm breathing. If you're in a difficult situation with a nervous horse, yawn, because that changes our brain. The next thing I do on a strange horse is I remember Sally Swift's following seat and I shut my eyes. Connection riding is about feeling, following, receiving the horse's motion. Good hands are only as good as the body and the independent seat that those arms and hands are attached to. Good hands are only as good as the mind that controls those hands. In centered riding, we know that we have what I call 4 basic balance points, reflex points in the body. We have one on the bottom of each foot. And that's one of the gifts that Sally Swift has given us, our grounded feet. What's the other 2 major balance points in the human? Oh, I heard it. You're sitting on them. Those seat bones. The seat bones give us information about what is our self-carriage. Are we in balance? Yes. They have at one side that's their favorite side that's easier than the other, just like we do. But often horses are being punished for what the rider is doing on their back and not a problem in the horse. So what are we humans use to keep our balance? Yes, gripping. But what's our primary body part that we use to keep balance? Yeah, we can't help it. As you're shaking that person's hand, think about the connection that you have. Not too tight, not too soft.